And we learn more about Kung Fu and Pekiti Tirsha Kali from practitioner Julia Saubier. Hello, Julia, and welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Okay, Kali has been in the country for several decades now, but maybe you can tell us a bit more about this martial art.
Sure. So as you mentioned, it's our indigenous Filipino martial arts, which I love. It's been around for decades, as you mentioned, and we've used it to fight off invaders and 3 spates of colonizers, from the Spanish to the Americans to the Japanese. And I find that so empowering because it really connects us to our history of resilience.
Okay, but the Philippine, this is different from Arnis, right? Because we're known for...
Yes, so Arnis and Eskrima are actually kind of shoot-offs of this indigenous martial arts. And Arnis and Eskrima come from Spanish words. So Pekiti Tirsha Kali is, our native dialect from Bacolod. So it's definitely indigenous and also more focused on weapons as opposed to just sticks. So it's a bladed martial art.
Bladed martial art. Okay, now before we talk about how you got into Kali, I'm aware that you actually got into Kung Fu first. That's pretty interesting. So how did you get into Kung Fu in the first place?
Definitely. I was really inspired by my studies in Chinese cinema because it was the first time that I saw an Asian woman center stage as a lead in a very strong and empowered role. So I was really very empowered from my studies of Chinese cinema, and I was like, the best way for me to appreciate this craft and this genre is to really learn the craft behind it and to learn Kung Fu. Oh. So yeah, I studied in a Chinese military school. I was learning Kung Fu for 8 hours a day. Which was an amazing experience.
But then you also took it to another level because you joined competitions and you represented the Philippines and you actually placed. Tell us about that. I mean, what's that tournament?
Yeah, it was an amazing experience because I participated in the world's largest Shaolin Kung Fu competition in Dongfang, which is in central China.
Okay.
And I got to bear the Philippine flag and represent the Philippines and placed, which was really just an amazing experience to be a part of such an incredible production and to represent my country.
But that's not fighting. It's like a demonstration.
Definitely. So Kung Fu, at least the Kung Fu that I practice, is more performative, whereas the Kali is definitely for self-defense purposes.
Okay, so some of these weapons here, what's for what?
So this is the sword. This is a Dao for Kung Fu.
Okay.
And we use this for our performances and for practice as well. And then these are sticks, which are meant to be used sort of to simulate blades because Kali is a bladed art.
Okay.
And then these are just practice knives for Kali as well.
For Kali also. Yeah. Okay, now how did you get into Kali after, going from Shaolin Kung Fu? What got you interested into trying out Kali?
Definitely. I think that honestly what inspired me was my studies in Kung Fu. I wanted to learn something that was Filipino because I wanted to connect with our history, which I find very revolutionary and resilient. And so I started learning Pekiti Tirsha Kali and got involved with Survival Arts, which is a group that teaches women, children, and members of the LGBTQ our indigenous Filipino martial arts for self-protection. And they're not just based here in the Philippines, but they're also based in LA and have global programs.
Okay, now talk about the value of the martial arts to Filipinas. Since you mentioned it, and you're already part of this academy, that's the Survival Arts Academy. Why is this important to teach and empower Filipinas to learn martial arts?
It's very important because if we look to our history, we'll realize that there's so many empowering women, from Gabriela Silang to Princess Orduha, and practicing this martial arts just connects us to this history. It elevates our vision for ourselves and for our country, and it also gives us the means and the bodily vocabulary to be able to protect ourselves if in the event we are put in a situation where we have to use it. And we live in a violent world, and women should be equipped with the bodily vocabulary and the confidence to be able to protect themselves. So I think it's very important for us to learn our martial arts to do that and to also really feel empowered with our bodies.
Okay, interesting. Well, you recently went sparring for the first time in the sport and you ended up hurting yourself before another big competition in your life. Tell us about that experience. What happened?
So I was doing a full contact spar, which you use these sticks.
Okay.
And you're essentially, sparring. Anything goes, really. And I dislocated my shoulder. It was one of the most painful things that I've ever had happen to me. And at that point, I was planning on joining Binibining Pilipinas, which I'm currently competing in. And there was a split moment where I thought, oh no, I can't compete because I have this dislocated shoulder. But thankfully it was, just a dislocation, so then I was wearing a sling, and for the first day of the screenings for Binibining Pilipinas, I took off the sling. But it's been kind of a journey to do physical therapy and then compete for Binibining as well.
Okay, well, speaking of Binibining Pilipinas, what made you decide to join this beauty pageant?
I think that here in the Philippines, pageantry is such a powerful platform. The women are really looked up to, and they're really respected and admired. And after spending the last 6 years abroad, I really wanted to give back and harness the power of this platform to share my learnings and to really promote this idea that Filipinas are strong, we are powerful, and we are empowered. And I just love that I'm being able to do this with Binibining Pilipinas.
And your, passion for Cali and the other sports helps you promote these advocacies that that you are championing?
Definitely. I think what's incredible this year is the Binibining Pilipinas theme is beyond beauty. And so it's really about going beyond the physical and promoting what you care about and really sharing your vision for your country and sharing your vision for what it means to be Filipina. And this has given me an amazing platform to not only celebrate our indigenous Filipino martial art, but to also just hone in on this idea that we are strong, we are powerful, and we are resilient.
Okay, I like that. Now, we have
I'm glad.
Okay. Maybe you can can you show us like a move or something? You can stand up, grab your sword or your sticks, and we can do a little bit of a demo here.
Sure. So I am right-handed, and I dislocated my right shoulder, or we could do the Kali actually.
Okay.
You wanna?
You're gonna spar with me? No.
No.
What are you supposed to do?
So this is just like a basic stance.
Okay, I'm supposed to stand.
What, you want to do it as well?
You can do it. I'll watch you. But okay, show us how it's done.
So, just the basic one is you want to make sure that you're grounded and you're centered, and then you have your left arm here to, protect in case there's a counter attack. And then you step forward, you strike back. That's just the basic strike. And then of course you could go jabs.
Like that?
Yeah. And the idea is that that's just a very, very basic strike. But of course it gets into, it's a very close quarter martial art. So you're really, close quarters with someone. And you're practicing with blades. Obviously when you're starting, you're just using these like plastic so that in the event that there's an accident, of course, everyone's safe. But I think it really helps to just have that familiarity holding a blade or holding something like this, because in the event that something does happen, the idea is you can use anything that's available to you within your vicinity.
All right, pretty cool. Well, Julia, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I wish you all the best in your future competitions in both the sport and in Binibining Pilipinas. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. This was amazing.
Glad to have you.